And 5, 4, 3, 2.
And
all right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Melissa, and we're here with
Cole Daniels.
Yeah. Nice.
And who are you?
I'm
this guy?
Jason. Hi, I'm here too.
I mean, this is Jason. He's around, you know.
I'm here.
All right, let's do it one more time.
Okay.
Do the I'm Melissa, I'm Jason, and
Oh,
we're
well,
here
but
with
you
Cole
didn't
Daniels.
you didn't deliver it to me the way that
I know, I didn't
'cause
do it.
that's why he answered, because I felt like that's what it
That's
sounded
what I
like
thought it was coming at.
That's what I heard
thing
too.
we always do. All right, so we have a thing we always do that he didn't do, so we're
Oh
gonna
my
do it
God,
again.
we're keeping all of this.
we got it. All right. even the 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hell
five.
yes. Hell yes.
Anyway, hello. I'm Melissa with Sexy Hippies.
I'm Jason. What's up?
And we're here with
Cole Daniels.
Oh, welcome.
That worked much
Welcome,
better.
Cole. Yeah, that
Cheers,
was a little
cheers,
bit better.
cheers. What are you sipping on?
Cheers. Yeah.
What are you
I
sipping
got some
on?
whiskey, so
Some
it's going to be
whiskey?
a good show.
Nice.
The boys drinking some whiskey. Are you drinking whiskey too, Jason?
Yeah, I'm having a whiskey mule.
Are you guys drinking the same
Some
whiskey?
ginger beer. I don't think so. I think you're drinking the
yes,
Woodford.
you are.
The Woodford. I mean, yes, we are. We are.
We share a lot of things.
We do.
Exactly.
Yep.
So we're here to talk to Cole today about a lot of different things. But first, I guess I want to talk to him about how he got started with the industry and how he got started with all of this crazy ride we're on.
Yeah, so I started just over a year ago.
Nice.
And so I've been a farmer my whole life. So that's what I've done.
Oh, that's
Natural
hot.
transition.
Yeah, you know.
Natural transition.
I got a boring winter, nothing to do, and my wife, she was just like, "Hey, why don't you do porn?"
Hey. Nice.
Because
yeah.
so many farm wives do that. They're just
That
like,
is a supportive woman.
That's how we do it. Like,
Exactly.
I'm already completely enamored by his wife. Like, I can't even
Golly.
imagine. Like, so amazing.
She's pretty incredible.
I don't know if you guys have seen pictures of her. She's beautiful.
She is, and she's 6'1", which
And
is
she's 6'1".
makes it even better. I'm 6'5", so it works really well.
Yes.
But yeah, it was
Yes.
her idea. So
Yes.
she
That
said
is
it, and I
awesome.
hopped in, and it took off. So here I am.
Oh my god! Oh my god, that's so cool. So, what did you
Cheers
guys?
to that.
Yeah, what did you guys first do to get started? Was it like, hey, I'm gonna record some videos. Hey, I'm gonna start some social media. I'm gonna start an OF account. Like,
So it was kind of it was actually a short discussion of, why don't you do this? Okay, that sounds good. I guess if I'm going to do it, I'm going to hop in and I'm going to do everything. So I started all my accounts, my TikTok, my Instagram, and fired up the OnlyFans, and like instantly one of my cooking videos, my little thirst trap cooking videos went viral. Like I got like 6 or 7 million views on it. Yeah. And then a week later, I found out that somebody had put it on Instagram. Not Instagram, Facebook, and there was like 10 or 12 million views on that one.
oh, snap.
And so I was like, all right, I guess I'm doing thirst trap cooking now.
I guess we do
Nice.
this,
Yeah,
right?
and so
Is that like the chicken
That's
thing that you
nice.
do?
Yeah, so I was making like a Thanksgiving turkey, and I slapped it all sexually and everything, and it worked. And I had my cowboy hat on and everything.
It's good if you haven't seen it.
And
I haven't actually.
haven't?
You haven't
no.
seen his turkey slapping?
No, I haven't.
Watch it, yeah. It's going to make you want to make a turkey.
He doesn't do the social media research in our job, so that's my part of the job, and he doesn't. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't do the scrolling, so he doesn't know. He has to set up the equipment for stuff like this podcast. It's like very boring.
The technical stuff. It's
So funny. It's so funny.
That is cool. So what my favorite part of that, just to like jump forward maybe, because I'm totally aware of all of these thirst traps that he puts out, because clearly I've watched them. But what my favorite part of all of them, besides them themselves, is the outtakes, and just like your wife filming and laughing at it and saying, "Hey, do it with a straight face," and you're like, "But I can't." And
Yeah, she likes to sit in on them and tell me what works and what doesn't work, and then laugh at me when it doesn't work. So, yeah,
it's so easy to film, doesn't it?
yeah, it does. Yeah, I make her leave the room when I have to do really ridiculous things like slap a turkey. But then she's also in the next room and hears me slap and then busts out laughing, and that doesn't help.
You're spending
like,
an
the
hour
first
editing,
time
trying to edit out your wife's voice.
The first time I watched you do the slap, I fully was on board with believing it. Like, I never would have thought that there was an outtake where you were laughing or anything. So whatever you did was great, like, in terms of playing it through and being like, I'm so serious about slapping this turkey. And I was like, that's me. I'm the turkey. So it worked. I mean, obviously, there's plenty of, like, whatever they're called, like, duet videos or where people, like duet you and then they are like, whoa, oh my God, watching this. So
yeah, that was crazy to see some of those start popping up because I didn't know that was a thing at that time. Because
oh my gosh, so you like learned about TikTok and Instagram, all of that like social media world through just kind of posting a video that went viral.
Meme.
Yeah,
you were like, wow, I'm in it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I'm a natural.
Was your wife like, boom? See, I told you so.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would have been like, baby, see, I know what I'm talking about.
And then we would just like go through the comments and everything and just read those all night because they were hilarious. Of all these people on TikTok really enjoying the turkey. And like,
yeah, it makes the world feel a little smaller sometimes when like, you feel like you're connecting with all these people and making people laugh. I think that's cool.
I think
that's a special time.
Yeah, I think that's really, really cool as well.
Congrats.
Did that like do a little spark for your sex life?
Yeah, I kind of did because, we've always been open and like we've loved seeing each other have a good time and loved seeing other people into each other. We're like, see,
love that.
I told you, you're sexy. You don't believe it, and now you should because there's all that. So she pulled that one on me, like, see, people like watching you. Like,
nice.
I want to argue, but there's a million views. So
yep.
You're like, but the internet does love me.
Yep.
That is so cool. That is so cool. I'm so glad that you found your spot. But I mean, it seems like you had a spot before you found a spot, which is farming and this beautiful land that you lived on. What did you guys grow on your farm?
So we grew berries, so like strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries.
Could that be any hotter, you guys? Like, did you dip them in chocolate too?
Sometimes. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have a chocolate source too?
No.
That would be
this
cool.
nice,
You gotta pair with some chocolate tears.
I mean, there's kind of like a sexy contrast between like the delicacy and the sweetness of a berry, and then like big farmer guys.
Oh, I know. The big farming equipment that you need to deal with the delicate berries. Like, who doesn't get the metaphor here? Hello.
Yeah.
It's so
big
beautiful.
Equipment's got to be delicate sometimes.
It's so hot. Yeah, no.
Precise.
No, that makes me so happy. So what do you feel like, okay, let me ask this. Okay. Does it feel strange that the world appreciates your sexuality through or with or in conjunction with the farmer / landowner thing? You know what I'm saying? Like when it's probably been pretty normal thing for you, and now suddenly it's become like this internet sensation.
Yeah, it's been really interesting. Because, I mean, I'm just living my life, and I'm a farmer.
Right.
And to me, that's normal to have a farm that's in your family for generations and to purchase that from your parents and then take it over. But apparently it's not. So
it's not.
That stands out. And then, I mean, I knew being a male that kind of looks more blue-collar country, but also is bi, is something that's unique because I grew up in the area where it isn't normal. So I knew that was unique, but I didn't realize the farming thing was so unique. So throwing them together, apparently there's not that much out there that.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to add the farming with the bi, it's
unique.
There's a lot of good fantasy material there.
Yeah. And we will get to the bi part in just a moment. I like to talk about the origins first, and then we'll go towards. Well, I suppose the bi could be the origins, but I think in my mind it's like wife and house, and then like how you like to express yourself. So you guys, you said you've always been open. How long have you known your partner, your wife?
Since high school. So we're high school sweethearts.
I'm dying.
Yeah. The classic high school sweethearts. We were a partner in college, which is where we got to kind of experience with other people, learn about ourselves, what we're into and everything. Then we realized, okay, we do like each other the most out of everybody. So let's get back together.
Nice.
And I love that.
The great thing is we also learned that we like other people still. Like we know that there's other people out there that fulfill specific things that each other can't do for each other. So we know that, well, if you want that in life, I'm not going to stop you. And that's where the openness comes from.
Yeah.
is we want each other to still experience everything we want without having those restrictions, but still be with each other. Oh yeah.
That's true love right there. That's true love. I mean,
That's
like
beautiful.
that's like you can be happy for each other when you guys are thriving, and there's not a lot of jealousy, and it's like, wow, that's so great. That, very rare.
my partner experiencing pleasure and more of life is not a diminishing sign to me. I am not diminished in any way, and I think a lot of men especially have an instinct to feel that way.
Yeah,
that somehow, like, you know. Like I'm diminished because she's experiencing pleasure with someone else. You know?
And there's situations where that definitely happens because there's not the respect that's given in that situation, so it is diminishing.
Yes.
But in a loving relationship, everybody's respecting everybody in that aspect, so it turns out to be a positive for everybody.
Yeah, it's like you really want that person to grow and thrive. So whatever it is that would make them grow and thrive, you're all about them experiencing rather than holding them back because you have some sort of attachment issues or like me and you have to be this way or that way. And so I think that's so incredibly mature and evolved of you guys. And it's just, you know, not that like I'm the person to be like casting any judgment, but I'm just like so impressed and I think it's so amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Not that I have any say in this, but I think that's really, really impressive and respectable. And so like when you're traveling for work and stuff like that, is she dating other people? Do you guys date people separately or is she just okay?
Yeah, so we fully have relationships with other people.
Cool.
So we do it all with other people. And when I'm traveling, sometimes she'll go date
see
somebody
her
else, see
Cool.
who she wants to see. And I mean, sometimes I'll go see people not for work, not for this.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
So,
So that's like a fully, in my opinion, what I would call like fully poly situation. Date other people and things like that. And, we have a lot of different iterations of our own poly. Jason and I do, and a relationship. And then of course we have a lot of friends who are poly, so we've gotten to see a lot of other different iterations of poly, like how it could work out.
Yeah.
If it weren't working out this way, it could be this way. So. You know, I mean, pretty much every type of organization of people is possible. You know, it's like, you know, we date, we don't date. Like Jason and I do the majority of our poly is like sleeping with other people together. It's not actually separate stuff. We don't do very much separate stuff. And, but like we are around people that do, you know, separate stuff. And so it's like, it's interesting to like, you know, to uphold other people's poly values while you're upholding your own and just kind of like, we're all kind of in the same group, but we're all doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, everything's so unique with every relationship.
Yeah.
Like mine and my wife's, we are definitely in a spot where both of us are very busy away from each other and our schedules don't line up. So doing stuff together with somebody else and actually like seeing somebody in that idea, it doesn't really work because our schedules just don't work. So we opened up to seeing each other individually, you know, with other people. And that works great for us because when one of us is way too busy, the other one can still go have some fun.
So smart. Yeah, like in our case, we are so united in our jobs, in our time, with our resources, with our responsibilities, that for us to go separate would be such a burden on the other person because you know, it's like, okay, you got to take the kid and all these other responsibilities. And so it's actually easier for us to just find time together to play with people rather than to go off separately. It just happens to be with the way that our life is right now. But
that's kind of true.
But I think it's just a function of having a small child.
Right.
Yes.
It changes things up.
We probably would have the extra time to do.
If we didn't have, but it's just like, because the real issue is that we love our kids so much that we both want to be with her all the time. So it's almost like this like fight between like, no, I want to do dinner. No, I want to do dinner. And it's like, okay, we'll both be at dinner. And so our schedules don't conflict because we both want to be kind of in the same place like almost all the time. So we're mostly like, hey, you come over to our place where we always want to be. And that's just where we are right now. But I think, you know, it has been in different places and I think it will evolve as she gets older. So
that makes sense.
It's a parent thing. So, but yeah, like that's really, really cool. So I think that's something that a lot of people are kind of unaware of or have questions about is like, how do people in this industry navigate having a partner And, are there any, like when you film a scene, for example, do you talk to her about it before it's published or before it's out? Or is she just kind of like totally chill with everything? Or
She's
how does
pretty
that
chill
work?
with just about everything. I do like keep her updated on who I'm going to be working with. Like, obviously she knows I'm here.
Right. Like basic stuff. Yeah.
And then I always tell her, like, if you want to know anything, ask, because I'll tell you everything, but I don't want to overshare. Like, I don't want to make it weird and be like, we did this, we did that.
Yeah.
So
First, my finger was here.
Yeah. I'm like, you ask, I'll answer everything you want to know.
That's a good
I'm just
way.
not going to make it weird.
Okay, I love that. Like, you ask, I'm just not gonna make it weird because, I've never like sent Jason to do some scene by himself, and then I'm kind of curious, like, what would be kind of an appropriate follow-up question. Yeah, it's like I feel like that would be kind of my vibe, but just be like, tell me if you want to tell me, otherwise, like, I can look at the footage or I can just like move on, like I trust you and I love you, so
it's great because she enjoys my work. Like, she likes
that's cool.
watching it.
That.
So that's
cool.
Fantastic.
All right.
And she's just really cool about it. So my favorite thing to tell people, I did the shoot with, have you guys heard of the Hot Wife Tour?
vaguely.
It's
Yeah,
a
I'm not
big-
like super familiar with
Big
it.
group of hot wives, and they'll travel around and do these huge like shoot houses. And I worked with them a couple times, and I went to one of their shoot houses, and we, Kaylee my wife came along with me for one of them, and she's hanging out just like becoming best friends with all the husbands of the hot wives because they're in the same position she is. Like they're all shooting content, and, they're supporting. So she actually, after I shot it was a reverse gangbang with all the hot wives and me.
Love it.
Afterwards, I come out. I'm exhausted because I just shot a big scene. I'm laying down on a couch, and she came with a sandwich for me. Like, she was like, how was it? Did you do well?
Nice.
Like, I think so. Thank you.
Nice.
So I never question whether she's supportive, because anybody that'll do that after a scene like that is pretty incredible.
I think so. Yeah.
That's a sweetheart.
Yeah. And then she was making all the other husbands and wives sandwiches. She's like, I don't know. I just love being here. It's like,
Oh my God.
great.
Yeah.
I think I saw like one of her pictures on social media that said something about like, I'm already exhausted and I'm not even talent. Like she was supporting you in one of the, traveling kind of like convention things that we go to. And I'm like, girl, I get it. Like I'm glad to know that people who aren't even talent get exhausted from this experience, because these conventions are so exhausting and so draining. And I just think it's interesting. It's great that she was there.
Whole job. Yeah.
Well, I think the best contrast is she's got her own career that she is phenomenal at, and she's killing it, and it's very corporate.
Yeah.
And so for her to just show up with a sandwich, it's like, this is just for you.
It's an act of love. You know, it's not about the sandwich. It's about the gesture. And being there for you and supporting you in a way that she knows like you might receive well.
Yeah, it's like when an alpha female serves you food, you're like, whoa, but you're like an alpha female.
We're not worthy.
Where did you have time to cook this food when you're like so badassing the rest of your life? Yeah,
exactly.
I get you. It's like kind of humbling. Yeah. No, if you see her picture online, you're just like, it's intimidating. Yeah. She's an intimidatingly beautiful, charismatic woman that it's just like, damn, like I see why you feel the way you feel about her.
Yeah.
She seems amazing. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So how do you, so I'm going to transition a little bit into like the bi talk that you talked about a little earlier. So how does she support that? So you said you're bi meaning bisexual, just in case anybody's following and isn't aware, meaning interested in men and women. So he's married to a woman. So you're interested in men sometimes too. And what's that? Yeah.
So to clarify, the bi part is pretty much strictly sexual.
Gotcha.
There's not much. I'm not interested in dating a man, but there's sexually things that are fun and just a whole different aspect to it.
And that's allowed. You can, you can like people for partnership, or you can like people for sex. You don't have to you can like one gender for partnership and one gender for sex. That's okay too. Like all of these combos are possible.
Everything's okay.
Everything's okay.
Yeah.
You're not gay unless you say you are. Okay.
Ask for what you need.
Yeah. All those things. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. I forgot where I was.
Bi and, sorry, where were we? We were on how does she support the bisexuality and right. So you said obviously it doesn't come into the partnership aspect, so that's not a problem. It's just the sexual thing.
It's just kind of for fun. And so she's great with it. She'd be great with it if it was a romantic side too. Like
Okay,
she wouldn't care because
gotcha.
we date other people, so she'd be fine.
I was curious. Yeah. Okay. So she's fine either way.
So either way, she's fine. She supports it, and she makes it very easy for me to do any kind of content because she's just like, well, do you enjoy it? Oh, cool. Keep doing it. So.
Hell yeah. Does she get off on it?
Sorry, I just had a thought where I was just kind of giggling. Like,
Now you gotta share.
I'm just imagining like what my relationship with another man would look like, and it would just be like playing catch and like poker games and like helping me fix the truck and shit.
The truck.
Like the least romantic things ever.
Yeah, like I just don't see it being the same kind of romantic vibe that like at all. This like the other things that I do with her and the things that I'm building with her. I just. Yeah, I don't see myself. I see myself doing like other novel tasks and shit, but like not. So
it's like a bro that you hook up with. It's not really. Yeah. That's how I feel about chicks. It's like I could be your friend, but mostly we're gonna bitch about dudes, right? Like.
So it's not really a friend. It's like buy for benefits.
Basically, I guess buy for benefit. I mean, we have a lot of weird friends in our hippie community and a lot of different, combos of things. But I think the most thing that has stood out to me is our friend who hosts the parties, who he is in a relationship with a female. And that's his main relationship person. But like when they play around with others, he would prefer to play around with dudes. So she likes dudes and he likes dudes to play around with.
Oh, yeah.
But then he was like, I would never be in an actual relationship with a guy. Like I always want to be in a relationship with a girl, but I'm not going to date outside of my relationship with a girl. I'm only going to date guys outside of that one. So I was like, okay, I think I get what you're saying. Like I see your boundaries here and that's very interesting. But most people don't talk about that as an option. Like, hey, I'm a dude and I'm willing to be in a living relationship with a female, but that's only, that's the only gender I'm willing to be in a living relationship with. And then with the sexuality, it's like, could be either one or in his case, it's really interesting because he's like, I'm only going to have sex with this one woman and then all the other people are going to be men, but I'm going to be living with her, so it's like very interesting.
It's funny. 'Cause it's even more interesting that the opposite of that is very common. For the woman.
Let me pick this up. Okay, so woman's with man and then only dates other women. Outside of it.
That's pretty common. So it's kind of interesting that flipping that, it's so unique.
It seems so unique. Yeah. That's a very good point. Flipping it is the unique aspect. He's just doing what women. Oh my God, I never thought about it.
Yeah.
That's right. He's just doing what women do.
Yes.
Only flipping it. Okay.
Huh.
Touche, you just taught me something about my friend.
I'm glad I could blow
friend.
your mind.
I see what you're doing there. It's feminism. That's really, really cool. Yeah. So, okay. In terms of sexuality, what is it that interests you about guys?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think I've ever had to try and vocalize it. So
you mentioned there were fun parts a little while ago. So what are the fun parts?
The fun parts.
If you can vocalize, if it's just too hard, it's okay.
The hard part is the fun part.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, penises are fun.
They really are. They're just like a shaft of fun.
Yeah. Like I got one, it's fun. So if there's two in the picture, that sounds fun too.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you drive cars and joysticks, and I mean, it's just like this. It's just a great feeling of holding onto something very hard and firm and get soft a little bit on the inside.
And so I really like pleasing people and being able to get them off. And there's a very, very visual and noticeable reward at the end of finishing a guy off. That's hard to fake. Women can fake when they're getting off. So
that's true.
Part of that is just like
that's interesting.
You can't deny it, bro.
Yeah, that's cool. I've had the same thought. Yeah, it's kind of a powerful kind of feeling. Yeah.
I think Jason mentioned one time also that he feels like there's an aspect of when you have a penis, you're able to touch another penis pretty skillfully, I guess.
Yeah. You kind of know the real estate. Although I don't assume I know the market, but it's like. But you can't assume that everybody wants the same thing, because I've seen a lot of variance in just how people want their balls touched. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like some people are like,
balls
don't
are a
touch my
different
balls,
story.
and then Yeah, they seem to be.
No, balls aren't transferable from person to person.
And you can't approach the balls like you approach the dick. Like they can be totally different in what they allow and don't allow. Like somebody's like, rail on my head, but like don't touch the balls, you know?
Yeah.
Like
and they are just two completely different areas.
Yeah.
They just happen to be right next to each other.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, it can be tricky for sure. But yeah, I remember the first time that Jason ever talked to me about it. We were at a festival, and it was one of those where it was like raining very hard, and we had to stay in our tent.
It was dumping.
You know, so it was kind of like
rolling balls.
Okay, we are using this for YouTube.
Okay. I'm not allowed to mention.
We were in our tent and we were having a good time, and we were just feeling great. And so we were unable to leave our tent for various reasons.
It was raining too hard.
It was raining too hard, and we were very busy.
Those thunderstorms were rolling in.
It was hard to see. Anyway, but yeah, like, so he confessed for his very first time that he was interested, and I was like, okay, I fully support this, and also it's very hot. Please do it, you know?
Fully support it.
Fully support it. Okay. So then fast forward, we're at some fiesta, and there's a hot tub, and there's a nakedness, and there was a whole, hey, dude, can I grab your cock moment? And he just like, kind of grabbed some friends of his cocks, and they were grabbing each other's cocks, or I don't remember if everyone was grabbing everyone's cocks. It doesn't matter. But I just remember you,
I think they grabbed my cock.
I think you grabbed his cock, bro, because you were all like, look, I'm grabbing a cock, and like, it feels amazing.
Oh, this is the hot tub?
Yeah, the hot tub with your
hot
friend.
tub.
He's like, yeah, your friend. He's like, not actually bi. He's like, not bi.
Not bi, but touch my dick if you want.
Hot tub. Yeah, you fucking
Don't
idiot.
tell him. Don't tell him.
Fucker.
But anyway, so that guy, so that I feel like was the first time, because I remember you being like, whoa, like, I'm holding a dick. I just feel like it was like really impressive, you know? You're just like, you know?
Like your first time skiing, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like,
that's
this is how it works.
Yeah,
you know? And so I think that was pretty impressive. And then later on, we actually had an experience where it was more sexual.
There's a lot of making out too. That was like my first time, like really.
Oh, that's right. You were running around the burn making out with some dudes. That's right. You had you had a little fest. Remember that dude? His name. Oh, I can't remember his name. He was like.
Beard.
Yeah, beard, like taller white dude. Like,
oh, yeah, you have a type.
Yeah, no, beard. Yeah, he likes beards. Anyway,
like beards.
that guy who is bi/gay. He like made out with you, and I remember that was like I was like really into that moment.
Just like I think it was just like a smooch. I think it was more of a smooch.
In my mind, it was a little bit. It was a lingering smooch.
It's not how
there
she
might have been a lingering
it.
smooch. Yeah, sure, but it wasn't a making out.
Okay, well,
I'm talking about the one with.
Don't tell my memories that. But anyway, I just remember there was like a small minor makeout situation,
smiles
and
over
then there was this guy who was like, "I'll try some stuffs," and we were so new to the industry, and we were so new to streaming, and we were just like, "Do you want to stream it too?" And he was like, "Sure," you know. And so we did all that, and we had no idea what we were doing on CB. Doing like MMF, basically. I guess we were doing an MMF, and we did not realize what that was at the time. We were just like, we're just
what
being
it meant
ourselves.
to people.
Or what
like
it meant to people.
Kind of a rare, like that we were having like a real dynamic with this person, and that we were all like actually sharing it live on CB. That was definitely like there was not anybody else doing that at that time.
Yeah. So we kind of did that, and then it fizzled into, you know, we just moved on to other things in our life, and then people have ever since then have asked us, you know, what about that bi stuff? And we were just like, I don't know. It was just kind of a thing. It was just sort of a moment. It was just sort of an experience with him and his friend, and they were just kind of, you know, whatever. And
nice.
and I don't know. We really didn't force finding more bi situations. Until you came around. We didn't force anything.
Well, no, we had one other one. We had another one. Like, it was a
in
couple.
In the same genre of time period, we had another couple. Yeah, that was.
Yeah. And that, so we got to, you know, I got to experiment with another person too, and that was really good. They had a little more experience.
They had a little experience. Yeah, they had a lot more experience.
Being on camera, I guess, a little bit, but
they experienced with guys and on camera.
Yeah,
but the first guy had no experience on camera or with guys.
Right.
So that was kind of interesting. You know. Have you had a whole lot of on camera experiences or off camera experiences?
No, that was the first on camera experience. So
that he's referring to a video we made
that we released
with Zoe by the river, who's sitting over here in our kitchen.
Oh yeah,
making noise.
She's our gallery.
I don't know if we can get her over here. She probably doesn't want to come crash our show, but she can.
No, she's busy licking something.
She's licking something, sealing it up, to. Anyway, moving on. She's very busy, but you'll see her soon. So how many? I don't want to say how many people because I feel like numbers. I don't count numbers, but have you and Kaylee, right? Kaylee?
Yeah,
Kaylee. Yeah, I was going to say Kylie. Kaylee played with a lot of people off camera, like boys off camera.
Not a lot of guys off camera.
Okay.
No, that's very unique. Just in general, like I don't do it that often.
Okay.
Mainly because I'm just very picky on the guys that I'm into.
Feel ya on that one.
Yeah. Like that one, if there's not a really good just connection hanging out, then it doesn't matter how like attractive they are.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're just
vice versa too. Like I can hang out with somebody and I'm like, oh, my immediate instinct was not, oh wow, they're sexy looking, but their persona, their the way they interact with me or like how comfortable I am with them can definitely like drive up their sexiness level. Like I start thinking about them in a different light. Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. That's cool.
It can happen.
Awesome.
Well, it happens with everybody in my world for sure. For sure. Like sometimes there's just like the light hits you just right, and I'm like, God damn, that's a sexy.
Well,
Just keep the light right there.
Just keep
like I can almost find anybody sexy. Like
Yeah, there's definitely triggers that really make somebody hot.
Yeah.
And also like immediately not sexy when I find out something I don't like about you.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
Right, and so that it's like the sexiness can kind of waver with people, you know what I mean? I think because we're all essentially just humans at the end of the day.
It's not all looks is kind of my point.
Yeah.
It's not all looks. Sometimes it's like other
some
stuff
of the
in my head.
conventions we go to. It's just flooded with beautiful people.
Yeah.
I mean,
God, that's
XBiz,
ridiculous.
where we all met last year.
Yes.
Plenty of beautiful
It's
people.
insane. Yeah.
But
it helps when we're both like 6'4", 6'5", and we're up over the ground
to each other
eye to eye, and I'm like, hey, what's up?
and then you just have that instant like, you're cool, I'm cool, this is cool. All right. See you in a year from now.
I feel like they met each other. They were like, nice hat.
Hey, I see you.
We don't have the hats on right now, but you guys, if you guys don't know, both of these guys typically wear hats. A lot of their content. Cole always wears pretty much a cowboy hat, and then you wear, I guess, what we call Aussie hat.
It's more of an Aussie cut, but it's still they're both wide brimmed hats. We both like our big hats.
Yeah.
Tall guys with big hats.
Yeah, tall guys, big hats. I mean, it's like how could they not meet? Because like they were the only people staring over the crowd at each other.
How much of a dilemma is flying on a plane with your hat?
Oh yes, talk to us about that.
this.
Yeah.
So bad.
How do you manage?
Box, right?
Yeah.
How do you manage?
So I got hat cans. So
Hat cans, nice.
Each suitcase can fit one hat can. And, like 3 days worth of clothing.
Okay.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
For the long trips, I have 2 carry-ons. Long trips being like 4 or 5 days. I have 2 2 checked items. I need 2 hats, and then I wear a hat on the plane, and that just sits in my lap all flight.
Got it.
Same with him.
Yep.
God forbid you try to put that up in that overhead compartment, because then the flight attendant's gonna come move the bags around and move your hat, because he'll try to place like his book bag for his like camera equipment.
In theory, there's enough space for my book bag with my hat on top.
Oh yeah,
and it should fold up, and sometimes it does. But the last flight we were on.
Oh my God, that flight! I thought he was gonna. I thought we were gonna get kicked off that flight.
I screamed at the flight attendant. I was like, "Hey, hey, that's my hat.
That's my favorite hat."
And what's funny is the flight attendant was queer AF. Like he had his nails painted. He was like Mr. Persnickety. So I was like, he should care. Like he should care about someone's fashion, and like he did not care. And I was like, oh. How dare you paint your nails and not care about fashion? Like,
don't you see what I'm working with?
Don't you see? This is my look,
bitch.
Yeah, no, but it's gotta be tough. So yeah, so we had a fan ask us too, like, how do you guys travel with that hat? And Jason was like, very carefully,
stressfully.
Yeah, and he's like, I was like, yeah, it becomes all of our problems. Like, it becomes my problem. It's his problem. It's on the knees. It's over here. It's over here. It's in my lap. It's in his lap. Excuse me, can I pass it over here while I get my drink from the flight attendant. It's a whole vibe.
Well, and stuff like XBiz where they have a white party and then a red carpet.
Exactly.
I need my white hat, my black hat, and then my daily hat.
Yeah.
And my daily hat.
I'm not going to get those dirty.
Come on. Yeah.
I'm not gonna get them dirty. And you have more expensive hats. Like he's got a leather hat that can kind of get a little bit messier and kind of like he can like run it over with a car and it'll be all right. But you run your shit over with a car and it's over.
Yeah, then
it's over.
Yeah.
throw it away and cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No,
the Goodwill's gonna look at it and be like, "We don't take hats like that."
no. One day he had his hat on the back of the car, and we drove out the neighborhood, and it was on the road, like the main road out here.
I saw it fly off the back of the car.
And it flies off the back of the car, and then we see a truck right behind us, purposefully swerve to hit the hat, and it hits the hat, and I was like,
dead on.
and I got so angry, and I was like, "Baby, stop this car!" And he stops his car, and I start bolting down the road like back, you know what I mean?
She's waving at cars.
And I'm waving at cars. And I'm like, "There's not a single car that's gonna drive over this hat again. Like, I will get in the middle of this road, and I'm gonna like make a scene so these cars will not drive over this hat." And I do that, and like, sure enough, get the hat.
This is love right here.
And this is like, and this is probably like a year ago, right? And our daughter's pretty young, and she's in the car, and so I mean, it was a very impacting moment.
Still
like
remembers
to this
it.
day, talks about it. Just like that time when you got out of the car to save Dad's hat. I was like, like you have no idea what this hat means to us. Like,
and I cried, and then I got it out, and I was like,
cried.
I got, you know, because there's a wire in the brim, and thankfully it like everything was flat, and the top was remoldable, and it.
Oh,
and
that's great.
It's still I don't know.
It'll never be the same.
No,
It'll never
it's a
be the
little
same,
off.
but it's still with us.
It's still with us. So we more or less didn't have, but he's already on the hunt for a new hat. He needs to
I'm
get
looking
more.
for a custom hat maker like in Atlanta that'll do like just kind of look at me and be like,
Yeah.
That's
know
what
what
you
you
need.
I need to go to.
He wants it like singed and stuff with like fire and weird
with,
stuff,
like,
embroidery and crazy stuff.
yeah, like a custom everything hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never had a custom hat, but
There's one in Atlanta, kind of right near my mom's place. We might stop into there. I don't know. Well, we'll see.
We'll see. Check it out.
should do it.
Yeah.
It always sounds worth it. I'd love a custom one.
So okay, so moving away from hats, back to buying farms.
Glad we got that out of the way, though.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad we talked hats. This is important.
Yeah.
So you said bisexual. We talked farms, but we haven't united the two because in my mind, farmers and especially men, you know, working tractors and being bisexual is definitely something that is. I don't know, unusual or even scary? Like, is that
Scary?
Yeah, I mean,
because there's the most, I don't know, I feel like country folk aren't like into that.
yeah, and the kind of generational farming that I'm in, it's very, you know, you look at them as like rednecks. And
They're rednecks, Christian, conservatives.
And they are.
Like,
Luckily, somehow I was born to parents that were very, very country. I mean, obviously, I'm a fifth generation farmer, so my father's fourth generation. Yeah. But the most accepting of everything. I don't know how they learned it through their generations, but they did. And like one of my grandmothers was just apparently the coolest grandmother ever. And so that just got passed down. And my parents were just accepting. And so I was brought up that way. So I've never been like worried about it because my parents were never worried about it with people.
Right.
So if I have like conservative farming, just your stereotypical what you'd be worried about, if they like find out, they either are just really cool because they know me and they know even if they were upset, it wouldn't affect me, or they'll be upset and I'll just be like, cool, I'm bigger than you. Like I have that. I'm like, I'm not worried about you.
I'm bigger than you. So,
and that's, so like in like country bars and stuff, that's the kind of thing I tell people all the time. I'm just like, well, I'm bigger than you. I don't care. Like,
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm just bigger than you. So I don't know. Do you want to fight me about it? Because like that wouldn't be fun for you.
And that's what I feel like if I was smaller, I would be terrified.
It'd be trickier. Okay, gotcha.
It'd be horrible. And so I feel bad because I can use that to my advantage to just be like, this is not your typical scenario, buddy.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good way of putting it. I mean, and to be honest about it, it's just like, this is how it is. It's like, for me, I don't have to worry as much because I can whoop somebody's ass if they want to fuck with me. Like, not so much worried about it.
Yeah.
That's a pretty amazing thing because there's a lot of people in your position who are your size and are interested in bisexuality and still won't dabble because they're still afraid. And it's like, what the fuck are you afraid of if you can like take them? you know? Like,
Yeah, like you got nothing to worry about.
bring it on, you know?
Yeah, it's a very unique scenario.
Yeah. What about you, Jason? How do you feel about that, the bisexuality? Do you feel there's a thing you have to hide, or do you feel, I know you're tall, but I know you're not quite as, like,
yeah, sometimes I don't know what people think about me visually right away. I think people I don't know what to think.
Gotcha. You don't know, sizing you up in terms of fighting wise, yeah.
Well, no, not fighting, like sexuality, most of the, like I'm definitely, I don't know, kind of in a middle ground somewhere. Could go either way.
Okay, yeah. Unpredictable.
I never really felt big or strong enough to like be valuable in a fight necessarily. What was the original question?
The question is if you feel protected in your, like, in explaining that you're bisexual and why. Like, is it being from Atlanta? Is it being from, because I mean, we could just be in Atlanta and we're just like, what? We're from Atlanta. Like, of course. Like,
I think it depends on the community. I have the privilege of being a white male that can kind of shapeshift a little bit, as it were, like to, I can make minor modifications to the way that I look, and I can fit in some spaces better.
Gotcha.
And so I have the privilege of being allowed to discern when I want to reveal that and when I don't, as opposed to just being worn on the outside of me all the time. Right. And maybe there's a certain tone to my voice that sounds more traditionally homosexual that maybe some people identify that with. So I don't carry that. I don't speak that way. So I have the privilege of not being identified that way immediately. I don't necessarily look that way. I feel the most comfortable wearing masculine presenting clothes.
Right.
So, and that lines up with my sex assigned at birth. Right.
Okay.
So, and I can grow a beard, and I'm tall.
Yeah, so it's just not really as much of an.
I really don't have to address it very much, like, ever.
Well said.
Yeah, really, you can address it.
That's my privilege, really.
Yeah, I'm. It's the exact same for me.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And you can choose when to address it and how to use it.
I can use it
to teach people instantly, because I'm hanging out with a group of guys that are from my area, and they say something. I can be like, "Yeah, I suck dick." And
like, what's your fucking oh shit.
Okay.
Oh shit, you do.
Huh, interesting. Like, that makes you think
they thought they were safe for a second and just kind of let some shit slip out there, and then and it depends on the dynamics. Like, does this person actually have power over me?
Okay.
If they don't, I might feel more comfortable in revealing something.
Yeah. So sort of like judging where you are in your privilege and whether or not you should want to use it. Yeah. I mean, because I obviously I have my own privilege that I'm able to use as well. So I totally understand that perspective of like, okay, I'm just gonna not tell anybody how I feel about this, or I'm gonna, because I can obviously be a conservative woman, do all the things right, thing if I need to hide. So I totally get that. Yeah. That makes sense. It is
really nice online, because I've been fairly open about it, being bi and having bi content out there now too. Having people reaching out to me and telling me how great it is to see somebody that's in such a like blue collar world just being so. I don't care about it. Just making it normal.
Yeah, that was my next question. I'm glad you went there already. Yeah, exactly. Like. So, what have you guys seen from your feedback from fans about that? Yeah, and you kind of already answered my question. It's just like that. I know I've seen from Jason's feedback just a lot of people who are really appreciative that we show that, or that we're willing to showcase that experience in our life, because they want to normalize it. They want to make sure that they, what they're doing feels a little bit more okay or normal, or like supported, or that there's more people doing it. So I think that's really awesome that that we're able to, I guess, provide. I'm not doing it for that reason. Like, we're just having a good time doing what we do. I think that we're not trying to force any agendas or change anybody's mind, but I'm glad when whatever actions we take either help facilitate somebody feeling more comfortable with their situation, or help them feel like if they needed permission that, hey, we give you permission. Like, we give you right now permission to be bi if you want to try it. Here we are, fully supporting you. You know, like.
Well, I think that makes it more impactful when you're not pushing it in their face, and it's just a passive thing, because why should you care about it?
Exactly.
And so I treat it like, why would my audience care about it? I'm bi once in a while. So, you know, if you don't like it, don't follow me. But if you're following me and you have a problem with that, you might want to rethink things. Like, it's no big deal. I'm not going to shove it on you. So.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just here expressing myself through my little channel. If that's not working for you, I mean, there's really a lot of other stuff out there that is probably doing this style of stuff better than I am.
From a lot of guys, seeing it come from somebody that's stereotypical cowboy, it hits them differently. They can take it in because it's somebody that they can relate to.
I was wondering about that. I was wondering if it was more palatable or less palatable because of where you come from.
People don't want to feel like they have to completely change how they're presenting in the world to also experience this other stuff. Like if all of a sudden everybody around you that is expressing themselves as bisexual is also dyeing their hair blue, and you're just not into that. Like, you might think, oh, for me to express myself in this other sexual space, I'm going to have to dye my hair blue, or they're at least fearful that they're going to get sucked up into other elements that's not what they're into. You know,
okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Like, hey, I know that's not a mature
mentality, but like, I think that's common.
I mean, I can relate to, you can still be a cowboy or farmer or any, traditional sense and be bi. I mean,
exactly. Like, you can have a wife, you can have kids, you can have the farm, you can have the truck, you can have the tractor, you can have the, all of it. And then you can also suck dick. It's okay.
And go home to your wife.
And go home to your wife and be like, that was some amazing dick.
And then she can teach you how to suck dick properly.
Who's into it and wants to hear about how you suck that dick. Or not, if she doesn't want, but
or not, if she doesn't, exactly. Or not. That's what we've already established.
But you just have to have that conversation, and like, so, I don't know.
Or suck dick together.
Oh,
or suck it together. That's what we're into. We're into that. We're
that's
into
that. Thing. Get that facial together.
Oh yeah.
Couple spatial.
Oh yeah, couple spatial. Wife licks cum out of my beard.
Exactly. Oh, so romantic.
Other man's cum
instead of spaghetti and cum.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yes.
Beautiful. So before we wrap it up, I just want to ask you, where do you think you're headed? What are your goals for the future in this industry or in your life, job, whatever?
So for the industry, I have no idea. Like, I'm just rolling with it. Like, when I hopped in, I didn't know what to expect, and I still don't. I'm just kind of going with it, seeing it where it takes me.
Yeah, learning and moving and flowing.
And it's worked, and it's been fun. So, and I plan to keep doing it for a while because it's going well. And personally, for my life, as long as I can keep farming, I'm happy.
All right. So you guys plan to stay on that land and continue to soak it up and enjoy all the beauty all the million. I'm like, I don't want to say how many acres you have, but it's a lot of acres.
It's quite a few acres. And
I'm jelly.
I take every dollar I make from porn and I'll buy a new tractor or do something for the farm because that's my real passion.
That's great.
We're going to go see that farm and we're going to maybe be on that tractor.
We'll get some tractor shots.
Oh, we're going to get some tractor shots on that tractor.
Oh, yeah.
No, that sounds incredible. In terms of, like, let's say industry awards or anything, would you be interested in being up for any of those? Are you interested in those? Are you?
I mean, it's always an honor to be awarded anything, so I would be flattered to be at any point.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I think you deserve it for sure.
I appreciate that.
And so are you, it seems like that you said you jumped right into this industry. So you're traveling and you're doing conventions and you're doing, I didn't ask you about your branding. That's what I want to ask you about. That's right. I'm so glad I remembered. So let me briefly transition back into, because I was outroing and I'm like, wait, we gotta go back to the beginning. So there's this thing that Cole does at the conventions, which is like things like Exotica. I don't know if you didn't really do it at XBiz because it's not
I bring it with me, but I don't do it as often.
Got it. Okay, so it's a brand that you're putting like a stamp brand.
So it's a cattle brand.
Okay,
I got it. My agent actually got it for me from she's got heads of cattle So she,
Of course.
yeah, of course. I mean, how could you be my agent without
I love it. Of course she's got herds of cattle.
So she asked that ranch to make me a cattle brand that has CD on it, or Cole Daniels, or Cowboy Daddy. That's also what I go by.
I love that. That lines up so perfect.
It's so great.
So good. Cole Daniels,
Fucking
Cowboy
hell.
Daddy. I love
And
it.
so I took that
Perfect.
and I put an ink stamp felt on the end of it, so
Yeah.
I can dip it in ink and then brand people. So at the
love
conventions,
That's
you go to
perfect.
like Exotica, you see everybody
perfect.
walking around with like CD on their arm or their ass. And
You know, there's the next step. I wouldn't say next step up. There's another type of branding is the freezer branding, like the frozen branding.
Oh, that's hardcore.
That'll leave a mark for a couple days,
That
and
leaves-
then it'll go away. You know,
they actually use that on cattle.
Do they?
Yeah, and it'll leave
yeah,
a
they
white
use it on
mark.
actual cattle.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice.
It's supposed to be less painful. It's a lot more
They use it on
expensive to do.
humans at
yep,
hippie
yep.
events.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, because it's almost painless.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But it was fantastic
I've
to
That's great.
do that. I did that at like AVNs and XBiz, so they have their award shows at the end of everything. And seeing my brand on some of the people like up giving awards or
that's
getting
so
reward,
cool.
oh, it's awesome.
So good.
Oh, that's such a
So
good.
fantastic,
Well done on the branding. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Oh, so tell
Quite
everybody
literally.
since we're here, branding wise, where can they find you? Twitter, Instagram, OnlyFans, all that stuff.
So everything, I am the Real Cowboy Daddy. On Twitter, just Real Cowboy Daddy.
Gotcha. On Twitter, not the.
Yeah, no the. And then I also have a brand that I'm starting to sell my merch. That's this Buckle Bunny brand. Have you ever heard of a Buckle Bunny?
No, talk to me. What's
I
Buckle
think
Bunny?
I saw you started to put some stuff out right before XBiz.
Yeah,
or something,
so historically, Buckle Bunnies have been around rodeos, and they're basically groupies for cowboys. They chase after the buckle.
I'm a Buckle
Yes,
Bunny.
And so they're called Buckle Bunnies. So I started a brand that's called Buckle Bunnies, and
Oh, that's hot.
cool little Buckle Bunny logo that's a cowboy hat
That's
with little
great.
bunny ears.
I started
my
collecting
God,
belt
that's so
buckles
hot.
a number of years ago. I got a couple little belt buckles.
Yeah, so I give those
Panda.
shirts out to a lot of the people I work with, and then I'm starting to sell them.
Nice.
So be able to buy those.
I like
too.
that.
Yeah.
I like
Fuck
that.
yes. All right, so look for Buckle Bunnies and look for Real Cowboy Daddy or the Real Cowboy
Yeah,
Daddy on
that's
most
me.
of the socials.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that you guys wanted to say or do?
No, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you
Talking with
so
us.
much.
Thank you both for having me.
Great.
It's been
I'm
awesome
excited,
talking to you. We're so excited. So
yeah.
we'll be filming some content with Cole in the next few days. So definitely stay tuned for that, or go to our link tree for that, as well as. Oh wait, who's someone's crashing? Someone's crashing the show. Someone's crashing the show.
Hopefully she'll crash some of our shoots.
Maybe
too.
she'll crash a shoot or two. This is Zoe by the river, everybody.
Hey, come get
Put your face in there and say hi.
My dog.
Say hello.
Hello. I look like a mess.
Zoe's just chilling in the kitchen. She's not camera ready, but she's still on camera.
Yeah.
She's always camera ready.
She's always camera ready. Hey, this is YouTube.
I didn't show. Hey, they allow.
It's okay if it's accidental flashing or if it's just natural flashing.
Oh, on accident. Oh.
Oops! Oh, my shirt just whoops! Oh my goodness! Oh, whoa! Actually, I really didn't mean to do that. Damn it! We're gonna have to cut that out.
Cut
Anyway,
that out.
well, it's been a fabulous talking to you, Cole.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic. It really came apart.
Button your shirt back up.
Such a mess.
And so I don't know. Are we? Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
I don't
great.
know.
That's all. That's
Hell yeah.
all I got for you
we got
guys.
for you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being in the
Hell
podcast.
yeah. We're gonna go shoot some content and go find us on the other stuffs.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
I'm Jason. This is.
Melissa.
No, wait, what? I got it all backwards. I'm
I'm Cole.
And he's Cole. And we're the Sexy Hippies. It's nice to see you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this podcast. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.